Today, I want to talk about one of my favorite platforms as of right now and why I love it so much, because I get asked a lot in my life why I love TikTok so much. So sit back, relax, grab your cup of coffee, and let's chat about TikTok. Before we get into that though, I just wanted to say that about 60% of the people who watch or listen to the podcast aren't subscribed or follow. I release a new episode every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Mountain Time, so I'd strongly recommend subscribing and turning notifications on YouTube for the full video form of the podcast at youtube.com/bxnsfilms. So let's get into this. Let's chat about TikTok. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to this episode of Creative Boundaries. I'm really excited today to chat about TikTok. It's my favorite platform right now. As somebody who uses Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and TikTok and probably more than I missed, there's so many now, I found a real love for TikTok. Initially, that love was in the form of me really enjoying watching the content. I'd find that it was 2 a.m. I'd gone to bed at like midnight or whatever, and I'm lying in bed scrolling through TikTok. And next thing I knew, it was 2 a.m. Constantly. I'd be getting in a rabbit hole of TikTok. So what did that mean? I kind of tried to dig into that a little bit. Why am I so addicted to content? Like, don't get me wrong. There's days where I get really into a loophole of YouTube, but I can usually control that, and I don't find it super overwhelming when I am in those loopholes of YouTube videos. So why did TikTok take me over like that? And why did it make me go into this kind of rabbit hole constantly watching content? I kind of studied it a little bit, and there's a few things that I learned and noticed, I guess, about the app that were really drawing me in, and I didn't realize it at the time. For starters, when you look at any app on your phone, you'll often be able to see the time of the day. So when you're on Instagram, you look at the top of your screen, you'd see that it's 4 p.m., for example. When you go into TikTok, it's one of the few apps that you are in where nowhere in the app do you see, or I don't think anywhere in the app do you see a time at the top of your screen. Granted, this is definitely not a bad thing. Like, I definitely am not hating on TikTok for not showing you the time, but it's one of the ways that they definitely do draw you in. You lose a sense of time, which enables you to keep scrolling. Which leads me to my next point. TikTok is a scrolling app. So the movements are super simple. You can scroll, double tap to like, swipe to the right to go to a profile, and tap follow on the main screen. You literally don't need to tap away at all. At all. You can be on one screen and you can have the full user experience, which is totally crazy to me because all these apps are so clunky and big when you think about it. You have so many buttons to push. You need to know what this does and what this does, and especially Facebook. God, Facebook is huge. There's so much going on. You're like, how do you access Marketplace? Okay, how do you do a search in Marketplace? There's a lot going on. TikTok, bare bones, video, scroll, like, profile. Simple. You can go live, I guess. Maybe that's a little bit more complicated, but it is extremely simple. And that's in the design, is that there's a lot of younger people that are using it because that's kind of the way technology is going. Minimalism, less of what's going on in these apps is winning. The less that's going on, that is. That's probably why TikTok is so addictive for so many people, is that it's just super easy to use, super minimal, and then it's really easy to forget what time it is. But then beyond that, the content is super engaging. Beyond, when you go on a YouTube video, a lot of vloggers will spend their time filling up their videos with B-roll. I also do that with my YouTube videos because it makes it more engaging, adds a little bit more to your story. On TikTok, you have 60 seconds to make a quality piece of content. How do you do that? Definitely not with B-roll. So you'll often find that people are doing very simple vlog type content from like YouTube circa 2009, when people would sit in front of their webcam, almost kind of like this, I guess, and just kind of talk about what they're doing. That's TikTok. The other thing is that you remember when on YouTube challenges were really big, and you'd have one challenge that would circulate the internet, and then everybody would be done that challenge and they'd start another challenge and that would circulate the internet. That's gone. That's not on YouTube anymore. And I'll tell you why. It's on TikTok. It's on TikTok. People are doing all sorts of different things, whether it be a challenge or dance or whatever. And that's the trend. You use that song, which I'll get into a bit later as to what I kind of feel about the sounds, but there's so much of the same sort of content. It's almost encouraged to be making similar content that you see a lot of different takes on the same thing. Kind of like back in the challenge days on YouTube where everybody had a slightly different challenge, but it was the same sort of thing. Or even pranks, I guess. A lot of people did the same pranks. They were just manufactured in a different way to look different. They were all the same thing. You play something out of a speaker and you get reaction. You know what I mean? It was all very similar. And I think that's kind of what's going on TikTok right now. It's a lot more raw of a version of YouTube, where it used to be back in 2009, 2010, all the way to like 2015 probably. Beyond that, numbers, they speak for themselves for sure. This year on TikTok, I've gotten just shy of 60,000 views on my videos and 500 plus followers. On my YouTube, I've gotten about, I think, 30 or 40 subscribers. If I do the math, that's 40. Yeah, about 40. And I've had just over, I think, 1.1 thousand views, I believe. And obviously there's a difference there. When I spend my time on TikTok, I'm usually uploading more raw content. When I go on YouTube, I'm a lot more put together with my thoughts. I make sure to plan out what I'm going to say, and it's a lot more structured. On TikTok, I'm very experimental. I'll do something totally different, and then I'll just throw in a trend in there because it's more fun. I don't do that on my YouTube videos. It's more of a put together, almost, I call them like short movies or short docs or whatever, because they're not really like an internet video. They're put together piece, right? So TikTok enables me to kind of get back to that video where it's like me talking to a camera for 40 seconds, or it's me making this short little 15-second clip with an album art screenshot. It's a lot more raw of a delivery form than YouTube. If you were to upload a screenshot to YouTube and use that as your delivery method, it would certainly be effective, just as effective as it is on TikTok, but it may not be received the same. Album art covers right now are a huge trend on TikTok. How about this? The Dalgona coffee, or what were they calling it? Whipped coffee. That literally took the world by storm at that point because TikTok had a trend about a type of coffee and everybody started drinking it. How does that work? Because it's engaging, it's relatable. Everybody relates to this content, which is why I like it so much, because I can post a video that is relatable to a whole bunch of people, and they actually are able to relate to it, and they actually get it, and it's not like this super put together thing. It's a super raw thought that goes into someone's head. So that's why I like it so much. The other thing, organic. Tell me a platform that's as organic as TikTok. You can't. It's not a thing. And obviously over time, we're going to keep having platforms that are organic until people kill the organic nature of the platform. It's already going away on TikTok very quickly. But right now is an opportunity for a ton of people to be making TikToks. That organic nature of how videos on TikTok grow is a big part of the reason why I enjoy it so much. You can post a video, and for me, I got one video that got 37,000 views just by letting it go on the internet. Literally 99% of those views came from the For You page, which is the Explore page, as it would be called on most platforms. But that's the main page of TikTok, unlike most other platforms where you see your follower content or subscriber content first. That's the thing that is so neat about TikTok, is that it's focused on exploring and finding new creators. And I think other platforms are now trying to incorporate that into their sites, their platforms, like YouTube with new Explore features on the mobile app. They're trying to make that work, right? So short form, engaging, relatable, organic content that's what TikTok is. It's super easy to grow a following on TikTok because people are watching different videos all the time. Trends are changing. People are following different trends, doing trends different ways. That gets different people the spotlight. Granted, there's people like Charli D'Amelio, Addison Rae, all of them, trying to think, David Dobrik is huge on TikTok. So all these people that are really big on TikTok, they're kind of almost, how do you describe it? They can do whatever videos they want, but for the most part, everybody's doing different things anyways. So that's what's nice, is that you see the biggest creators doing whatever they want, but even the smallest creators are doing whatever they want, following different trends in whatever capacity they want, and almost all of them can succeed. It's a very fair playing platform, because anybody can really do it. That's what I think is super neat about that. So I've been making 2 to 4 TikToks a day for the last week and a half, almost 2 weeks, and I actually missed a couple days lately because I've been super busy, but the more I was posting, it almost like it was building like a snowball. Like when you're rolling a snowball and it starts off really small. The first video in that 2 weeks got 100 views because I hadn't posted in like a month. Sweet, 100 views. Next video, 150. Next video, 175. Next video, 250, 300, 400. And then slowly all these videos were getting rediscovered as my videos were growing, and they were seeing that I was posting more. 1,000, 1,700, 1,800. They kept almost snowballing because I was creating a lot more content that people were increasingly enjoying. TikTok's algorithm was noticing that. So it's super neat how that works, is that it allows you to snowball like that. Let's talk about sounds and music. I mentioned that a little while ago as to why I like that so much. I know of 3 artists on that platform who have released songs that they never would have been able to be releasing right now if it wasn't for TikTok. And granted, they're talented and they definitely deserve it, and I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. It skyrocketed how quickly their careers grew. There's people who like literally had no one following them prior to this. Like no following whatsoever. They had one good sound that got used for a huge trend on TikTok. I believe they're also Canadian. It's Tiags, however you say it. It was a huge sound. But he essentially put this out and blew up and moved to LA and released more songs, and another song did well. It was insanity. His career skyrocketed, which is sick. How often does that happen? I mean, yeah, a lot of artists will collaborate with other artists and they'll become a lot bigger. But when does it happen that they just have organic discovery and they have a lot of it at once? TikTok. It's literally almost like, I feel like a perfect platform for a lot of people, musicians, comedians, dancers, filmmakers, photographers. They do really well on there too. That's 5 different types of art forms, which is super neat. I see tons of people painting, drawing. There's a lot. There's so many. But it literally is a platform that boosts all different types of creativity because people like different forms of creativity. And as a result, people are liking all those different kinds of creativity. So it really is a platform that serves all sorts of different people, which I find super, super neat. Why do I use TikTok? I got the app and I used to make these little Instagram story videos, which were like 1-minute cuts of what I did in a day back last summer. And then I got TikTok and I was like, screw it, let's put them on here. Did a couple, and then they did pretty well, but I didn't really want to know what I wanted to do with TikTok. And then I started seeing the organic growth. And essentially for me, it's been almost like a brand building tool. A lot of my most recent subscribers have been coming from TikTok, from seeing my TikTok. So if that's you, hi, thank you, appreciate it. And just really developing like my brand on there to funnel people to different platforms. Because quite honestly, the TikToks I'm making are not my finest form of creativity. They take me no more than 30 minutes to make between filming or planning, filming, editing, and posting. Some will obviously take longer, depends on what it is, but it's super, super easy input, like very easy work. And it's getting a lot of views, getting me a lot of traffic. So that's why I use it. A lot of people write it off as this kids app, and I super strongly disagree with that. I've actually heard a few people say that the demographics are actually getting older. Like less younger people are using it or older people are taking over. I have no idea if that's true or not. I don't think it is, but it definitely is a lot more broad. I know a lot more 20-year-olds on the app than I do 15-year-olds. Granted, maybe that's where it started, was 15-year-olds, but as with any app, it's always going to be written off as it's not cool, it's a kid's app, it's not that big of a deal, it's a fad, it's going to pass, it's going to be the next Vine, and it's going to die. I've constantly heard all of those things. I don't agree with it. I think that the app has something really good going for it, and it will be as big as YouTube. I do. YouTube isn't going to be around forever. I think it will be a little bit, I'm not saying TikTok's going to take down YouTube, but I think that this is going to be the next big video app. Facebook tried, they kind of won, not really. What else tried? Instagram, IGTV, kind of won, not really. TikTok, it's fucking winning, and it's fucking winning big. So I like TikTok, and I think that it's definitely a good platform for people to be on, whether you're a kid or not, because really that's just an excuse of people who are scared to try new things. That's my honest thoughts. That's my honest thoughts right there. So after my hot takes on that, that's kind of everything I wanted to cover with TikTok. I've been wanting to make a video about this for forever. I could never really suss out what kind of delivery I wanted to do with that video, so I ended up just deciding I think it would be better if I sat down and used this as a podcast episode. I think it's really valuable for people who are trying to get into creating. YouTube is daunting. It's really hard to grow on YouTube. As somebody who's kind of successfully grown a small channel to a small following of like 1,700 subscribers before, it was okay. Didn't do it again. Here I am, 183. So I can speak to the fact that it is hard, and it definitely got harder after I did that one to 1,700. So yeah. It's hard, but TikTok is definitely a much easier platform to grow on. And if you can funnel those viewers over to YouTube, definitely give it a shot. Like, don't discount anything because people think it's not cool. That's my honest thoughts on TikTok. But I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode. I hope you kind of took some value from this. If not, I'll leave my home address in the description. Come here and punch me or something. Actually, I won't do that because that's stupid. But yeah, I hope you did enjoy. Thanks so much for listening/watching, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. Have a great week, guys.